live session. Today we will continue with the Indian polity NCERT classes. Is okay. I hope that am I clearly audible to you? Am I clearly audible and visible to you? Welcome to the Alchemy Ias NCERT live session. Today we will continue with the Indian polity NCERT session. So, we started with the 6th standard NCERT classes. In the previous session, we studied chapter 1, chapter 2 and chapter 3. The chapter 3 was covered what a government is, how it functions, its roles, the types of government. In that session, I have mentioned regarding the levels of government that we have in India, like level of government at the central level, a government at the state level, a government at the local level. For the today's session, we have the chapter 4 here that is dealing with the topic Panchayati Raj. So, Panchayati Raj is an example of a local government, local self-government located at the local level, like we studied in the previous session regarding the levels of government. So, in this chapter, we will cover more about the Panchayati Raj system that we have in India, the basics of the Panchayati Raj system. For exam perspective, for the UPSC exam perspective, we can expect questions with respect to basic concept of Panchayati Raj, the term like that is mentioned in this particular chapter. Starting with the paragraph, you can see that this is covering topic like Gram Sabha, then how people are represented in this Panchayat or the Gram Panchayat, how they are participating in the democratic governance system. These are the area that we will cover in this particular chapter. Let's get started with this chapter. I hope everything is clear. Are you following me? Then we will start with the first paragraph. This chapter starting with an example of a Gram Sabha was called in a particular village in Chhattisgarh named as Hardras village. An example was given. So, it was a meeting was called immediately after the Gram Panchayat election. So, once Gram Panchayat election was over, then the new Gram Panchayat will start functioning. Before that, it was calling a Gram Sabha meeting. So, then for exam perspective, what is important for us is to understand what exactly mean by the term Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha, even if we can see in our Indian constitution under 73rd amendment of Indian constitution added the Panchayati Raj related provisions. In this provision, this is clearly defining, the constitution of India clearly defining what is Gram Sabha. So, this chapter also defining what is Gram Sabha. So, here it is a meeting of all adults who live in that local area covered by that particular panchayat. So, anyone who is above 18 years of age old or more, then who has the right to vote in order to elect a member to this Gram Panchayat. That means in a particular village, in a particular local area, all eligible voter above 18 years of age is a member of Gram Sabha. The Sabha of these all eligible voter in a local area village is called as Gram Sabha. Is it clear now? Gram Sabha, the definition of the Gram Sabha, meaning of the Gram Sabha, we can expect maybe in prelims examination. So, this is why this particular content is relevant for our exam perspective. Then it is starting detailed explanation, starting with an explaining how this Gram Sabha will function. And by giving an example of a particular village here given as the Hardras village, they have called for a meeting. In this meeting, according to this paragraph, whenever you go through this paragraph, you can see that the president of the Panchayat is also called as Sarpanch, and the members of this Panchayat are present in this meeting and they are presenting a plan. These plans are related to repairing a road into that village. That road is connecting to an highway. They are also discussing a matter with respect to the issues of water shortage that the people face, especially the local community may face some problems. If you are waiting for any policy that will be designed and implemented by central government will take time, and the central government at the central level will not be easily available at the local level. So, that is why we thought of decentralizing the power from central to state, then state to local level. So, this decentralization government, local self-government gives a power and autonomy to the local area, the people living in the local area, because they are very much familiar with, they can easily identify and understand an issue faced by these particular people living in the local area. So if these people has given an autonomy, a governance, some power, then through their representative forming a government, then these government formed by the locals will be available there at the village. If any issue is there, they can easily meet and discuss. Once they are discussing through this Gram Sabha, so this Gram Sabha can propose, this Gram Sabha can discuss the problem which they face. Through understanding this problem, identifying the issues, the government formed at this local level known as Grama Panchayat can address this problem efficiently in a democratic way. So this is why we have a Panchayati Raj system, a Gram Panchayat at the village level. So this is explained through an example of a story that they have given, the meeting happening at this Hardas village of Chhattisgarh. So more point for our exam perspective, we can take it from this particular box again, and just I will go through this box here in this particular page of this chapter. We can read, every village Panchayat is divided into wards. So here in this paragraph, it is trying to explain how they are electing a representative to this Gram Panchayat. So in order to elect a representative to this Gram Panchayat, they are dividing this village into wards according to their population, and divided into wards, and each ward may have a representative, and they will participate in the election, and in that election at the Panchayat level, village level, they will elect a representative. Once this person is elected to this ward member, elected to the Gram Panchayat, the person who is representing from this ward will be known as ward member or Pan. So whoever is appointed as the president of this Gram Panchayat will be known as, also called as Sarpanch, and these ward members are members of these Gram Panchayats. So Gram Panchayat in India is elected for the 5-year term. For example, our Lok Sabha, the tenure of the Lok Sabha is also 5-year, tenure of the state legislative assembly is also 5-year. Normally, usually the government at the central level, government at the state level also formed from the Lok Sabha at the central level. In state level, the government is formed from the state legislative assembly, and their tenure is also usually 5 years. So similar way, the same way, our tenure of the Gram Panchayat is also 5 years. So this is another fact that we have to note it down for our exam perspective. If a questions come with respect to the tenure of the Panchayat, usually they can continue this government, the tenure of the Gram Panchayat is 5 years. Then this Panchayat, other than elected representative, this Panchayat has a secretary. If you have watched a web series now available in the Amazon, Panchayat, it has like the season 1, season 2, season 3 is available now. This web series is also discussing the issue, problem and the role of a secretary, Sachiv ji. In this story that is portrayed in this Panchayat is also reflecting the how the government at the local level is functioning, at the Panchayat level how it functions. So every Panchayat there is a secretary. The secretary is not an elected person and appointed by, he is appointed by or she is appointed by the government of that states, and this secretary is responsible for calling the meeting and keeping the record of the proceeding of this Gram Panchayat. That is the responsibility of a secretary. The secretary is not an elected person, rather they are appointed by the state government. Any secretary is appointed by the state government to this Panchayat, then they have certain responsibility for calling the Gram Sabha meeting of the Panchayat and also keeping all the records of the proceeding happening at the Panchayat level. So there is a secretary at the Panchayat level. Whoever is heading the Panchayat is known as Gram Panchayat president, and whoever is representing this ward, they are known as ward member at the Gram Panchayat level. So these are the facts which are covered under this particular box. Now we will continue. So here in this following paragraph, it is describing or explaining the story, the discussion happening at the Ardas village which was mentioned in the previous paragraph. So one of the village Panchayat in Chhattisgarh regions of India. So it is just an example. You can also go through whenever you go through this NCERT chapter. Here in this particular paragraph, they were discussing in that Gram Sabha meeting, one member of the Gram Sabha was proposing a discussion over the issues that face with respect to shortage of water. So one lady was mentioning here, I think the name was Tijia, and she mentioned a problem there, that is, in order to get a water she had to travel 3 kilometer to that river near to their region. So, it is very difficult for these people to go to this far in order to get a water. So, they are discussing regarding to get an access to water easily through either pipeline or wells, or establishing some permanent system for solving this issue in a proper way with the participation of the Gram Sabha members, and an effort should be taken by the Gram Panchayat. So, they are discussing more about the water issue faced by the locals. So, the basic amenities is a basic amenity that we face at the local level. These issues are discussed in the Gram Sabha. When these issues are discussed and heard by the members of the Gram Panchayat, they understood the problems of the local area. Once this problem is addressed, then they will address this problem through either any schemes already designed, or any assistance maybe from the state government or from maybe central government. With this assistance and through designing a policy or program, they will address the shortage. For example, we have many initiatives at the central level, Jal Jeevan Mission. Through this integrating to different schemes at the central level or state level, or getting a finance through the assistance from central and state government, local governments, this local self government like Panchayati Raj can address the problem like these issues. And another problem that they are discussing in this meeting is with respect to the listing of people or individual in the BPL, below poverty line. So, we know that if any person listed in the BPL list or below poverty line, they will get some benefit through the schemes that was launched by the government of India for giving them, because they are economically deprived. So, their problem must be addressed through kind of assistance, financial assistance, some services will be given to them. So, whenever they are prepare any list, in this example they have mentioned that some wealthier individual was included in the list, and some other person who are poor were lifted out of in this list. So, they are discussing that in this meeting, in the Gram Sabha meeting, they are pointing out a problem with respect to the BPL list, that wealthier individual was listed in this BPL list, while the poor person were not listed, who should get the benefit of these schemes. So, they are also address this problem. Then the Panchayat president is saying that in response to that issue, okay, we will review the criteria we followed for listing a person under the BPL list. So, they understood the problem. Now, they are ready for addressing the problem if the person is eligible according to the criteria, and they will list the person into this BPL list. So, this is the example that they have given in this following paragraph. Now, another point that we can go through this paragraph, this box, Gram Sabha is a key factor in making Gram Panchayat play its role and responsible. So, here what is the role of Gram Sabha? That is a point that is discussed here. It is place where all plans, all work of the Gram Panchayat are placed before the people. If any plan that are going to be designed by the Gram Panchayat, all this plan work has to be placed before, it has to be presented before the Gram Sabha. With the consensus of the Gram Sabha, with the discussion with the Gram Sabha, only then this program, this work can be done by Gram Panchayat. So, here Gram Sabha plays an important role. This is like a direct democratic device. Here directly people are involved in the decision making of the government at the local level. So, in India, even though we follow representative democracy or indirect democracy that was mentioned in the previous chapter, but Gram Sabha in India at the local level, at the village level, is an example of direct democracy, because any decision, anything that is going to be made by the Gram Panchayat has to be discussed, must be placed, must be presented to the Gram Sabha members. Once they are discussed, then only it will be coming into policy of this village Panchayat. So, this Gram Sabha prevent Panchayat from doing anything wrong. It is preventing any misusing of the power or misusing of the money or any favor to any certain people. We have seen that wealthier people were listed under the BPL list. Maybe some corruption might have happened. So, this Gram Sabha will ensure the accountability, because we can also see that the parliamentary form of government, in parliamentary form of government there is a feature. In India particularly we follow parliamentary form of government. Our government that is formed from the parliament is directly responsible, accountable to the legislature. Our executive, our government is responsible to the parliament. Same way, The Gram Sabha ensure at the village level ensure the accountability of the Gram Panchayat. So they are also easily available and people can raise questions if they are not responsible, if they misuse money or finance, or if they favor any persons, then those areas of the misuse of the power, such wrongdoing can be questioned and raised by the Gram Sabha. Through this it ensure accountability. So they can have an eye on the elected representative, watch on this elected representative, make them responsible to the person who they are elected. So directly elected representative of this Gram Panchayat are responsible to Gram Sabha. So Gram Sabha consisting of all eligible voters of that local body. I hope you are clear with this particular point. I will move on to the next. Next paragraph, this is covering with respect to Gram Panchayat, the Panchayat that we formed. So through an election regularly in India, we have seen after 5 years, election will be held to the Panchayat at the village level. After the election, a new Panchayat can be formed at the village level, depending upon which political party or alliance which they have secured larger number of seats at the village level, they can form government. So whenever this Panchayat is formed, they usually implement, since it is a government, their duty is to execute the policy. They will implement development program for the villages that comes under it. Then they also work for the Gram Panchayats, and that has to be approved with the consultation of the Gram Sabha. This is how they are functioning. In some state, Gram Sabhas also form committees for specific purpose. For example, construction purpose, road or other water related perspective, different aspects. If those issues are considered, they will form separate committee for those purpose. Similarly, they will also form committee for development aspects. This committee will include some members of the even Gram Sabha, some members from that Panchayat, and they will carry out the specific tasks. So these committees also is one of the feature of Gram Panchayat. That is, these committees are formed in order to execute the program, the policy, the scheme which are designed. This is how the Gram Panchayat functions in India. Next is in this paragraph, again connecting into the work of the Gram Panchayat include, like there are certain points are given here, the work that they are doing, the construction and maintenance of water resources, road, drainage, school building and other common property resources, levying and collecting local level taxes, executing government schemes related to generating employment in the village. For example, MG Narega, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Schemes. Such schemes usually even Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana at the Gramin level. These are some of the schemes are executed by at the local level this Gram Panchayat. The sources of fund that the Panchayat will get is through taxes, that is they are taking collecting taxes on the like housing, marketplaces, then government schemes fund that is allocated to local level, local governments. So these fund can be used. Then donations also from different community works. These are the fund they are they will use for development for the purpose of the local level. These are the fund that they will use for the development aspects. So then it will continue with the same story, whatever which they have mentioned in the previous paragraph is how they are continuing in the following paragraph. Then what is more important for us is to understand the three levels of the Panchayat that we have in India. So I told you that we have a government at the local level known as the local self-government. This local self-government is there in India at the three level. For example, if you take the Panchayati Raj institution in India, one level that we can say at the village level. At the village level, we have a Panchayat is known as Gram Panchayats. That is one level that we have. Another level that we can say that after the village, and in between, in the middle of village and district, there is another level, intermediary level. Intermediary level, we have another Panchayat is commonly known as Block Panchayat. So this is intermediary level. Such Panchayat is called as, in India, is called as the Block Panchayat. Block Panchayat is there. Then third level that we have at the district level. At the district level is called as District Panchayat, or sometime we call it as Zilla Parishads. This is what is explained in this paragraph. Again, I will highlight those content here. There are three levels of government, three levels of Panchayat in India. So after we have understood what is meant by Gram Sabha, Gram Panchayat, then we have different levels of the government The first tier that we can see at the Gram Panchayat at the village level. Here Gram Sabha is also there, or eligible voter or member of this Gram Sabha. The participation of the Gram Sabha is very important here. Without their consultation, no policy will be taken by these Gram Panchayats. Then another level that we can say that at the block level, this Panchayat is called a Janpat Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti. In different names are there depending upon which state that you belong, different names are given. Then the Panchayat Samiti at the another level we have, that is district level Panchayat or Zilla Parishad. These are the three levels of the Panchayat that we can say. This is also called that three-tier system. So this Panchayat Raj system that we have in India, we have three levels of government, one at the village level and second at the intermediate level known as block Panchayat, and then at the district level we have district level Panchayat or Zilla Parishad. Each of these has separate purpose and role. For example, planning executions are mostly responsible to this district level Panchayat. Directly addressing the problems of the village areas will be the responsibility of the Gram Panchayat at the village level. Any matter with respect to the medium term intermediary level will be addressed by block level Panchayats. So these are the levels of the Panchayat that we can see in our Panchayati Raj institutions in India. So this is how this chapter, the topic is covered under this particular chapter 4, Panchayati Raj institution, Panchayati Raj. I hope everything is clear. I hope everybody is clear. Is it clear? If yes, you can just mention whether you got the point in the comment section. We will come up with more chapter. We just have covered the 4th chapter of the 6th NCERT's Indian Polity, and more chapter will come in the upcoming video. Thank you everyone for attending this live session, and we will come up with more. If you have got some point, something relevant for our exam perspective, you can mention in the comment section. Thank you all. We will see you then for the next class. Thank you.